Well, hello and welcome back to my channel where I make healthy lifestyle videos that include new recipes, some fashion content, some beauty content, and a look into my crazy life. Now, part of that crazy life, I have started my Zepbound / Tirzepatide journey. Now, if you've been following my channel, you know that for the last month, I have been preoccupied with a very real breast cancer scare and getting ready for my daughter Mandy's wedding. Now, my whole Zepbound / Tirzepatide journey began the same day that I had my mammogram where they told me they had found something. I came home from that appointment and my box had arrived with my compounded Tirzepatide in it. So I have told you guys about it. I've mentioned it. I am down about 10 pounds since I started. Now, that day when I received my bad news and came home to have my Tirzepatide waiting for me was August 14th. So I took my first shot on Thursday, August 15th. So a little over a month ago. And I've had a total of 5 shots. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of my history and why I decided to join the bandwagon and take the GLP-1'S. So my journey actually started in July. I had been struggling to lose weight. As you know, if you watch my channel, I was trying to lose weight for my daughter's wedding. And I was counting calories, I was counting Weight Watcher points, but, and that's my little orange cat who's really mad because she wants me to give her treats. Oh, there she is. Anyway, but since menopause and since going on tamoxifen, which is an estrogen inhibitor, I had found it near impossible to lose weight. And another one of the setbacks that I had was that I really like my wine. And that was a huge trigger for me. So when stressors would happen or good things would happen, I would have some wine and then that would cause me to make some bad food choices as well. So it was kind of a vicious cycle. If you've been following me from the beginning, you know that I started out on Optavia, on the Optavia 5-in-1 plan. And I have nothing negative to say about Optavia. It was a wonderful experience for me. I started with Ashley Kisner back in August of 2022, actually July, and then I lost 25 pounds in about 2 or 3 months, and then I got my first breast cancer diagnosis and had to go through all that, the testing, the surgery, the radiation, and I struggled to maintain my loss, and I had wanted to lose even more, but it was just the added stress. I gained back most of it and then spent the last year or two, just really kind of gaining and losing the same 15 to 20 pounds. And it was really frustrating. And as I aged and as I got further into menopause, it was just harder and harder. I would count my calories and try to stay between like 1,200 and 1,400, and I wouldn't lose any weight. And in fact, I would gain weight. So I decided to go see my doctor. And I went to my family doctor and asked him about the weight loss injections. And he was all for it. He was so excited that I was interested in them. He told me that they're studying all these benefits to these GLP-1s, which weight loss is just one. And he was very excited to get me started. So he wrote me a prescription for Zepbound. Now, of course, my insurance did not carry it. So we struggled with that for a week or two with the doctor's office trying to get me pre-authorized. And let me give you some of my beginning stats, because in this whole almost a year and a half of doing videos for you guys, I have never really told you any numbers. So let me go back to before Optavia. Before I started Optavia, at my very, very, very highest weight, I weighed in at 191, and I'm 5'3". So that was my highest weight ever. And I did lose the 25 pounds from that. And then proceeded to gain and lose, gain and lose, gain and lose. Now, fast forward to July of this year. So I went to see my doctor. I weighed in at 181 pounds, which put my BMI at a little over 31, which qualified me for the medication. And then they did my A1C for the first time, and it was 5.7, which is at the very threshold of being pre-diabetic. So I was very hopeful that my insurance would cover this, but of course it didn't. So then I had to start looking at other options. So I did decide to try a telehealth company called Bright Meds. And I signed up. I went through a pretty extensive health screening where I uploaded pictures, I uploaded some of my blood test results, and I was eventually prescribed compounded Tirzepatide. And that was the box that came on August 14th, the same day that I got my bad news about my mammogram. And it came in a little vial, came with a pack of syringes, some alcohol pads, and some instructions. So I started my first dose the next day at 2.5 milligrams. And I did that for a few weeks. But the thing with Bright Meds, and I have nothing bad to say about Bright Meds, they were a great company, but I knew I had received $200 off the first month. So my first month of Tirzepatide was $375. But I knew going forward that it was going to go up to $575. Now, that was the most you're ever going to pay. It was a standard fee per month for any dose of compounded Tirzepatide. But I also knew that there were other places out there where it was much cheaper. So I recontacted my doctor's office. Now, one of my subscribers, Denise, you know who you are, we were messaging back and forth, and she told me about a compounding pharmacy in New York that your doctor could send prescriptions to. So I went ahead and contacted my doctor's office, and I got a month's worth of compounded Tirzepatide with B12 from this pharmacy in New York. But how they sent their month's supply was in 4 preloaded syringes. Now, my doctor did up me to the 5 milligrams for that second month. And I am still using those preloaded syringes right now. But I am switching providers, and I'm going to tell you why. So I thought that the preloaded syringes were going to be easier, but it turns out they really aren't. And I'll show you it. Hang on. Okay, so it came prepackaged with some ice packs like they all do, but it comes in these preloaded syringes that look like this. And it comes with the tops of the syringes that you screw on. And I'll show you. You can kind of see what they look like. Now, you would think that that would be easier, but it really wasn't. Getting the stopper off the syringe, I would inevitably squirt out a little bit of the Tirzepatide, which is like liquid gold. And I also did not like the needles as well as the other regular insulin needles that Bright Meds had sent me. But there was no choice. I had to use them. And they're probably twice as long as those needles, the actual needle part. So it doesn't really hurt, but it hurt more than the other needles. So anyway, I'm using these up, but I also knew I really wanted to go back to the compounded Tirzepatide that comes in the vial. So I started researching other telehealth companies that carry compounded Tirzepatide. Now, I follow a YouTuber, Brittany Rose Vlogs, and I will try to put a link to her channel in my description box. And she has been doing Mounjaro and switched to compounded Tirzepatide for, I think, almost 2 years and has lost like 90 pounds. She's very knowledgeable. She's not a healthcare professional, but she extensively researched it when she switched from the brand name Mounjaro to the compounded Tirzepatide. And she went through a company called Orderly Meds. So I did some research myself, and in my opinion, they're one of the best telehealth providers out there. So I went online, I filled out a questionnaire, I uploaded a bunch of information, pictures, etc. And I have been pleased with this company so far. They're competitive with their pricing. The first month is $349. Now, they have a flat fee. They have no subscription fee. Their flat fee for Tirzepatide is $399 a month. There are no hidden costs, and it never goes up even as your dosage increases. But I got $50 off using a coupon. So my first month, and I'm waiting for it to arrive, is $349. And because I had a prescription for the 5 milligrams, they were able to start me off at that instead of restarting at 2.5. So I am waiting for my month's worth of compounded Tirzepatide to arrive. And when it does, I will definitely do an unboxing. But again, like with Bright Meds, it's going to be a vial, syringes, and alcohol pads. And I am very excited to switch back to that. Now, I also wanted, Kylie, you're very distracting. I also wanted to talk to you guys about how this has been a game changer for me. Now, if you've been following me from the beginning, and many of you have, you know, I did Optavia for a really long time. And I loved the group I was in, but after a while, I just couldn't stick to it. And what I was finding, and Mike now will tell me how awful it got, but he didn't at the time. But I got to the point where I dreaded doing anything. I dreaded having plans to meet friends out for dinner. I dreaded having parties to go to. I dreaded having events to go to. And I hated feeling that way. And a lot of times I didn't go to places because I didn't want to go off my diet. And that was very frustrating. And it was putting a strain on my relationship with Mike. So I really did need to look at something else. So I switched to Weight Watchers and counting calories. And while I enjoyed going back and having real food, it was still a struggle. And like I said, since menopause, I was finding it virtually impossible to lose the weight. Plus, I was still backsliding a little bit on the weekends because I would have wine. It was one of the things Mike and I like to do. All right, so enter my first month on 2.5 milligrams of compounded Tirzepatide. Now, I did immediately feel appetite suppressant, but again, everything coincided with everything that was going on with my breast cancer scare. And I really couldn't separate my lack of appetite because I was so scared of what was going to happen with the breast cancer or was it appetite suppressant because of the Tirzepatide? Now, I really didn't have any bad side effects that first month, and I was still drinking some wine. That first month, I lost about 8 pounds, I think, 8.5 at the end of that. And then I received my 5 milligram preloaded syringes, and I have had 2 of those. Now, I did tell a big difference between 2.5 milligrams and 5 milligrams. I made the unfortunate mistake of taking my first 5 milligram shot the day before my birthday, where I went to the wineries with Mike and my daughter Mandy. And boy, did I feel nauseous for like 3 days after that. So clearly, I could tell I was at a higher dose and it was working. And so if you followed my channel, you know that last Friday, I got the call that my biopsy was benign and I did not have breast cancer back. It was the Friday of my daughter's rehearsal dinner for her wedding, and I got to enjoy the whole weekend. And so now I'm kind of just getting my act back together. It's the first week where I could really analyze the benefits of this Tirzepatide without any underlying factors going on. And let me tell you, I think it's going to be a huge game changer for me, because not only does it suppress the food noise that you hear so much about, but it suppresses my alcohol noise, if that makes any sense. Now, again, if you've watched me, you know I am a full-time prosecutor in the city that I live in. I am divorced. I've been dating my boyfriend Mike for over 10 years. We do not live together. My son, who's 25, lives at home still. My daughter, who just got married, is on her honeymoon in Greece and has her own house. But anyway, you know, the daily stresses of work, of trying to get things done. My coping mechanism was to come home from work and have a glass of wine. And that's a very hard habit to get over. But what I found is, at least at the 5 milligram dose, I don't even want alcohol. It doesn't sound good to me. It isn't something I'm craving anymore. And I lost 2 more pounds this week. So I have a total of, I believe, 10.5 pounds now. And I couldn't be happier. And now with the second week of 5 milligrams, I had much less side effects. And I'm really excited. I don't feel that dread about an event coming up. I don't feel anxious about it. I'm happy to go, and I know that I'll just have what I want, but I'm not going to want a lot. And that's the beauty of it. Mike has been so grateful that I've changed my diet program, because now we're doing more, we're going out more with our friends, and it's just been a really good experience. And between you and me, I'm very excited that this has really suppressed my alcohol noise. So I feel like I've got control of my situation really for the first time in a while. And I'm very excited about that. Now, like I said, when I get the box from Orderly Meds, I'll do an unboxing with you guys so you can see exactly how they package things and what they give you. Now, one nice thing about Orderly Meds is they have a Refer a Friend program. Now, I am not affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form, but everyone who signs up with them has the opportunity to refer a friend. Now, if you refer a friend, the friend gets $50 off their first order, and you get a $50 credit, which is great. So I'm going to go ahead and put my referral link in the description box below. If you have any questions about my journey or my experience on the GLP-1s, please feel free to email me. My email address is in the description box below. You can also message me on Facebook. I believe that's listed down there as well. Or leave me a comment and I will respond back. But if you are at all interested and you decide to take this journey, I highly recommend Orderly Meds. And if you use my link, you'll get $50 off. That's not why I'm doing it. That's not why I'm sharing it. I just think it's done so much good for me, and I want to share that experience. Now, my channel really isn't going to be totally about my GLP-1 journey. As you know, I like to do fun videos, what I eat in a day, new recipes, kind of fun events in my life, and I want to keep doing that. I want my channel to be a place where you can come and feel good for 20 minutes or so. So with that being said, I do have a recipe I'm going to end this video with. So I am still kind of keeping track of my Weight Watcher points and calories. Now, if you are a Weight Watcher member, they have a program, they have a GLP-1 program. You can switch over to that. It does still calculate your Weight Watcher points, but it also keeps track of your grams of protein and your servings of vegetables, which is really important. So I have been trying to increase my protein. Now, the recipe that I'm gonna make today is the Weight Watcher 2-ingredient dough apple turnovers. Now, according to the Weight Watchers app, when I plugged in the recipe, it has 15 grams of protein and 3 Weight Watcher points. So it's gonna be a rather healthy dessert. And I guess I'm gonna have dessert for lunch today. I'm gonna have my apple turnover, and that again has 15 grams of protein. And I'm going to have a little container of cottage cheese, which has 12 grams of protein. Then I'm gonna head back to work. But in the meantime, let me take you into my kitchen and make the apple turnovers. Okay, time for the recipe. So I'm going to make a Weight Watchers recipe for 2-ingredient dough apple turnovers. And it has 3 points total, about 15 grams of protein, and about 200 calories. So what do I need? Of course, for the 2-ingredient dough, I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of self-rising flour, a 1/4 cup of non-fat plain Greek yogurt. It calls for a tablespoon of monk fruit sweetener with erythritol. I do not have that, but I do have all natural birch xylitol, which measures cup for cup like sugar. So I'm gonna be using a tablespoon of this. And then it also calls for ground cinnamon, a pinch of salt, and of course, an apple, peeled and thinly sliced. And then you make the dough, you form it into a triangle, you put the topping in the middle, you fold over the edges, and then you poke some holes in the top, and you do an egg wash. You baste the egg over the turnover, and then you put it in the air fryer for 8 minutes at, let me check, 390. So let me get started with that. Now, I was looking at several different recipes for 2-ingredient dough apple turnovers, and one was caramel apple turnovers. Now, I didn't have the caramel syrup that the recipe called for, that particular recipe. But I do have the Jordan Skinny Syrup Salted Caramel. It has 0 calories and 0 points. So when my apple turnover is done, I'm going to drizzle some of this on top. All right, let me get started with that, and then I will show you the finished product when it's done.
I'm thinking you were made for me. Isn't it my birthday yet? Cause I gotta say, you're looking like a gift for me. Wrapped up nice and neat, baby. Get in my way now, don't be shy. We'll be here dancing day and night. Get in my groove now, don't be shy. Cause I got this list of my favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first and the second and the third and the rest of it. You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with my bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top. Get on my list of the things I love, love, love. You could be the one I trust. All the second chances, they are nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top. Be one of the things I love. We don't have to move so fast, baby, I will show you how you can catch my vibe. And right away, got so much time looping in the blurry lights. Get in my way now, don't be shy. We'll be here dancing day and night. Get in my groove now, don't be shy. Cause I got this list of my favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first and the second and the third and the rest of it. You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with my bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top. Get on my list of the things I love, love, love. You could be the one I trust. All the second chances, they are nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top. Be one of the things I love. The things I love, the things I love, the things I love, 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 love. The things I love, the things I love. Be one of the things I love. The things I love, the things I love, the things I love, 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 love. The things I love, the things I love. Cause I got this list of my favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first and the second and the third and the rest of it. Get in my way now, don't be shy. We'll be here dancing day and night. Get in my groove now, don't be shy. You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with my bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top. Get on my list of the things I love, love, love. You could be the one I trust. All the second chances, they are nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top. Be one of the things I love. The things I love, the things I love, the things I love, 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 love. The things I love, the things I love. Be one of the things I love. The things I love, the things I love, the things I love, 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 love. The things I love, the things I love. Be one of the things I love.
All right, well, my apple turnover was absolutely delicious. I'm gonna head back to work, but I'm gonna say goodbye for now with this video. If you like this video, please like it below and subscribe to my channel. And tick that notification bell so you are alerted every time I upload a new video. All right, guys, goodbye for now. I will see you next time.